Eagles Kingdom gon' be the nation if you ain't know it. Hella been shaking, the rumors breaking cause we exposing. Got no more patience, your time is wasting, we quickly growing. Unite to save when we walk in the path that's flowing. The king is risen, begin the end of a lie that's trending.
Today I want to address an urgent truth that resonates deeply across the African continent. Africa is a land blessed with immense wealth and resources, yet the paradox of exploitation and disunity destroys our story.
They had a Berlin conference and not an African leader was there. But guess what the Berlin conference was about? Taking Africa. I don't think we understand how deep and cold that is. When did we have a conference? When did the African nations sit down and saying, this is what we gonna do to get these results?
While many proclaim nobody can speak for us, the reality is African lands are being used, the resources are being stolen, and the people are being left in the shadows of others' prosperity. This is not just a political issue alone, it's a spiritual one, with clear parallels to the stories found in the biblical text. For instance, the time of the judges. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. During the time of the judges, the Israelites lived in a state of disunity and they rejected God's guidance and suffered constant attacks and exploitation by foreign nations. The lack of centralized leadership led to internal chaos, making them vulnerable to outside forces. How does this parallel to Africa today, you say? Well, many African nations and communities operate without a unified voice, leading to fragmented approaches to governance, resource management, and defense against exploitation. While individual nations or leaders may act independently, the collective unity needed to protect the continent's resources and sovereignty is often missing. As there was resistance in divine leadership in the Bible, like God's chosen leaders, whether Moses, David, or even Christ, were often rejected by their own people. This rejection led to prolonged suffering and vulnerability. When the Israelites rebelled against Moses, they delayed their journey to the promised land. Parallels in Africa today would be the statement that a lot of our African brothers and sisters say nobody can speak for Africa except for the people that live there. It reflects a resistance to unified leadership or external advocacy, even when the lack of representation allows foreign powers to dominate and exploitate the land. The absence of trust in leadership creates a vacuum that foreign entities exploit, using Africa's resources for their own gain while the people bear the consequences. Foreign nations have historically exploited Africa for its vast resources, gold, diamonds, oil, fertile land, while leaving little benefit for its people. Here are some biblical parallels. The Israelites in Egypt labored under Pharaoh, building wealth for the Egyptians while they lived in oppression. In modern times, resources like cobalt used in smartphones, rare earth metals, and agriculture land are extracted to fuel global economies. Leaders who might stand up to this exploitation often face opposition or are undermined, leaving the continent in a state of disempowerment. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Disunity among African nations and within communities prevents collective action to reclaim resources and protect the land. Divisions based on ethnicity, religion, or colonial borders have kept the continent fragmented, allowing outsiders to manipulate and exploit these divides. African nations and people must recognize the need for leadership, acknowledging that unity under a divinely guided or visionary leader is essential for reclaiming sovereignty and protecting resources. Leadership doesn't mean domination, but representation and advocacy for collective interests. The Bible teaches stewardship of the earth. Africans must reclaim their role as caretakers of their resources, ensuring that they benefit the people, not outsiders. reject the nobody can speak for us mentality. While anatomy is vital, rejecting all forms of representation leaves a vacuum that foreign powers eagerly fill. True leadership is about collaboration and protecting the collective good, not domination. When we unify under a common vision, Africa's strength lies in its diversity, but unity under a shared purpose is crucial to resisting exploitation. So, the resources being stolen and land exploited are reminders of the consequences of division and resistance to God's guidance. In biblical terms, ignoring God's provision of a leader or vision often leads to oppression and suffering, as we can see. Africa's restoration may require a shift in mindset, guided by principles of unity, stewardship, and faith in a greater purpose. Just as the Israelites needed Moses, David, and Christ, Africa may need a collective embrace of leadership and vision to reclaim its rightful place. Let us not be like those who grumbled in the wilderness, longing for the chains of Egypt. Instead, let us rise as a united people, embracing the leadership and purpose God has given us. Only then can we protect the lands of Africa, uplift our people, and fulfill the destiny written for Africa since the beginning of time.
And now you tripping cause you ain't listen to mind your business. Get up and spill out your cup, then come be a witness. Know what the deal is, you missed it again, see what happened. But it's okay cause we got you all you